Where the arrogance comes in is once I learn something, I feel like, well, now I know that, and I get into that know-it-all place, and it then has its damaging qualities. Okay, so I forego learning more.
Welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman.
Aloha, Alex here, and I am getting a real chuckle at myself because of many things. One of which is that this is a very old script, many months, and I'm catching up with it today and seeing the joke is on me. Okay, I don't even think I'm going to explain this, but a little bit I will, because it's on listening. Part 3, there are basically only supposed to be 2 parts. Part 1 and 2, they have already been done. But I knew there needed to be a part 3 because of what this joke is on me is about, is this thing about arrogance. I struggle. I don't know if anyone else does. It's none of my business, but I do on a daily basis. It's a subtle, maybe from other people's perspective, it may not be subtle, but for me, it's sneaky, it's slippery, and it doesn't, for me, stand out like, oh, I'm being arrogant. Like I said, maybe for other people it is. But I have to do work to identify how deeply arrogant I am in the moment, because that's what's really behind this challenge that I have in the addictive tendency realm, this base addiction being alcoholism that for me has so much danger to it. And other addictions as well, of course, drug, that has danger. But there are dangers with other ones as well. In relationships, arrogance. Listening is really functional in relationships. And I have been what I consider a student of listening for, well, finally, over a decade. It would have been nice if it had been longer than that, because I'm pretty old now. Better late than never. Where the arrogance comes in is once I learn something, I feel like, well, now I know that, and I get into that know-it-all place, and it then has its damaging qualities. Okay, so I forego learning more because, I learned, and my need is to learn, continue learning. So when I feel, well, it's important to listen to others, and I think that I have that figured out, that's the arrogance figured out, or I've learned how to, in this case, validate what I've heard, and it works. It really does. the initial, I haven't talked about the parentheses yet, because that's where I started really realizing the joke was on me. It's a couple books that I'm going to mention, but the review, there was going to be a review on part 1. Real quick, it was how I don't listen, the forms that there are, the first 3 forms mentioned in the 5 different forms of listening, the first 3 that aren't even listening, really. The third form being the closest to it. The first 2, not listening at all, and yet those are the most popular forms of listening for me. They're like default unconscious behaviors, and yet I still do it, still do those forms of listening to this day, unless I'm paying attention. Do I go to the part 2? That was part 1, was on those forms, and then part 2, listening part 2, was on the the 4th and 5th, which was learning to listen was the 4th, and listening to learn. That's what it's all about. Learn, right? Learn. Keep learning through listening. That's the highest, the 5th. I'm not reviewing them. I'm reviewing only that's what they were. Okay. So that's the listening, right? For me, it's like got it. It's to improve and understand others. It's about the others. In reality, and I even mentioned it in the videos, in reality, it's about me. It's about my growth, understanding more about me when I truly get it, what's going on there. But then there's this one book I got from Prem Rawat that I talk about occasionally, called Hear Yourself. Hear Yourself. Yes, of course. Has nothing to do with other. It's not about communication. It's that relationship with me. Hear myself. What about that listening? I wouldn't even be aware of that. And that's the learning on a daily basis. This arrogance is so slippery, is so sneaky, that keeps me from learning more about me that I need to learn, but not here. This is what gets in the way. There's a different, I don't want to use the word form, a completely different world, this heart that is opened up for me through what I learned from Prem Rawat in this peace, education, and knowledge that is offered on the premrawat.com. No charge. There's no strings attached. It's so beautiful, the opportunity. But what I'm saying is that it's anti-arrogance, because it opens the true self up to me in a way that has no misunderstandings, no lies, no false sides to it. It's pure. And that listening that I need to do for me, with me, is what is missed when my attention is elsewhere. So I become the richest possible as the attention is turned in the appropriate direction within. That listening, it's a feeling wholly different. Aloha.